I mean, 60 years, and this thing's been through hell. I mean, this is 60-year-old gel coat that, again, as we've been discovering, has been patched, repaired, painted with house paint, not even boat paint, just regular car Bondo. Dare I say wood putty on the back here, but if it means something to you, then I guess it's worth saving. So. What's up, crew? And on today's video, we are fully restoring and repowering a 1960s Boston Whaler 13, the unsinkable boat. So this boat actually came to me from the gentleman who is installing the garage doors on my new shop at my home. So he reached out after finding out about what we do here, and asked if we would help him with a 13 Whaler that has been in his family for quite some time and has just been sitting in the yard upside down. So first and foremost, I said absolutely, and we went through the boat and basically talked about all the basics. The hull itself is in fairly decent shape. It is a little rough on the top sides and bottoms. There's a couple cosmetic repairs that do need to be made. Yeah, Harry's gonna go through some of the things about 13 Whalers, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But overall, this boat's actually fairly light. It's not waterlogged. The foam isn't absolutely soaked down below. And it's gonna get a lot of nice new parts. So we already have a Tohatsu 30 horsepower with all the controls and gauges. We are gonna use some parts and pieces from Specialty Marine for new wood, electronics, wiring, you name it, that'll go inside this boat. The links to those products will be in the description for you guys to check out for your 13 and up Boston Whaler restorations. And of course, full sand, repaint, new bottom paint, fix any cosmetic dings, dents, scratches, and then put all new beautiful wood and rigging in this boat. So here we go. This is Boat Revival by Ben, and enjoy full restoration on one of these classic 13-foot Boston Whalers. A couple things to note before we really tear into this project. The transom has been modified on this particular 60s Whaler. Unfortunately, we do not have the VIN number that was on this boat. I think it was actually pressed into the boat somewhere.
No, it would have been
a plate,
like a paper stencil held up and then sprayed right there.
Oh, well, it is long gone.
Yeah.
So anyway, we do know the owner has the title, that it is a 60s Whaler, but not the particular year. So I'll let Harry go into some of the more specifics.
All right, so this is not what you want your 13 Whaler to look like. So the 13 Whaler was designed by Fisher Pierce in 1958 and is built in one form or another up to the present day. Now, in the early 70s, they changed from this bikini blue interior over to kind of a beige color. In 1970, they changed the spray well here over. But this is a classic example of a late 50s to early 70s Whaler. I don't know exactly what year it is. It would have had a stamp in right here, or a stencil mark that would have given you a hull number. But being pre-72, there's nothing on the transom, and even if there was, there's so many layers of house paint on here that that doesn't really help you one way or the other. Now, this boat is a pretty good example of everything that can be wrong with a 13 Whaler. So I'm just gonna point some of those things out, and then we'll start fixing them. Now, one of the biggest things to look out for is back here, where the hole is in the transom for the drain. They didn't put a bronze liner on a lot of these early boats. Now, what that means is you just have bogged epoxy to stop water from ingressing into the wood in the transom. Now, this boat is actually pretty dry in here, and the transom actually feels pretty good. I want to see how they raised it here, because this originally would have been a 15-inch transom boat. So I'm going to grind everything off and have a look at it. But that's a pretty good first thing to look at, is you want to see what the condition is in there. But again, this one seems pretty good, surprisingly. See the bronze one here doesn't go all the way to the end. So that's another thing to watch out for, is that this whole bulkhead will go soft. Now, it is going soft around where your rear cleats would be sticking through. I just pulled those off, got time lapse of it all. But that's a good idea to go and backfill all of that and then re-drill it so that you have at least a little bit, there you go, a little bit of structure to hold on to. They also love to go soft along the top here. If there's ever snaps put in for a cover, you can see there's one right there. Now the side of this boat feels pretty good. Somebody was running this poor thing up until 2021, or at least paying for the rego. The wiring for the running lights usually runs down this side of the boat underneath the rub rail. And what will happen is that someone goes and they dock really hard, and then a piling goes and pinches the wiring off, so then your bow light won't work. Now this wiring looks horrible, so hopefully won't be using that. This is another good example right here of a spot where the foam behind here is all just completely rotted out. So that'll have to be backfilled as well. The one thing about this boat is it is very light. Now a healthy 13 whaler, totally stripped down like this, shouldn't weigh more than about 250 pounds or so. So that's the one thing this boat does have going for it. One of the big kind of trademark things of the whaler is that it's the unsinkable legend. Now what that actually means is that this whole boat is just a foam brick with a couple layers of fiberglass over it. So, which is a great thing because it's really cheap to just pump these things out, and they're you know, very, very cost effective. The downside being is that when this boat was built in probably the mid-60s, they didn't have closed cell foam. So basically this whole thing is just a big sponge wrapped in fiberglass just waiting to soak up water. So a lot of these boats you'll see the water lines, originally a healthy one of these boats with a 20 horse on the back, the water line will be just below the chine here. And then if you put a 40 on them, they'll be right about here. This boat's honestly not doing too badly, but sometimes you'll see them where the water line is up to the name, or, you know, anywhere in there. And that's when you know you have a problem. And the only way to fix that, really, truly, is to cut the whole deck off the boat, scoop out all the old foam, and put a new deck on it. Now, I've done that job twice now for my personal whalers, and I don't really ever want to do that again. So luckily, this boat doesn't need that much work done. But they're a wonderful boat, super good little utility boat. We had a couple of these growing up, and I'm looking forward to get this one back on the water.
Harry, with the transom being raised like this, did we verify what shaft length our new motor is?
I haven't opened the box yet. I don't know Tatsu's things. This is a 20-inch transom right now.
Okay, so we'd want a 20-inch shaft on this.
Yeah.
So we'll see what motor the owner ordered. If this is a 15-inch shaft motor, we're gonna have to cut the transom back down to the way it was originally. But if it's a 20, we'll just fix what is here, make sure everything looks okay, and reuse that. Another couple things on this boat, we'll probably replace the rub rail. It's actually not in terrible shape, but they sell that on Specialty Marine's site. The owner is also having the bow rail re-dipped in chrome. So we'll have a nice new bow rail to put back on this thing, rebed some hardware and whatnot. So let's tear into the action and get this thing ready to be brought back to life.
All right, so as I'm removing the rail, which hopefully you guys saw, this is a really good example of when a whaler starts to get wet right here. So you can see somebody drilled these holes here, probably I would think for like an anchor line hawse pipe thing to go there. And you can see that the deck right here is just peeling off as the foam has swollen up. So I'm gonna have to cut that back, probably over to here, which you all will see at some point when I actually do it. And yeah, again, luckily the bottom is good. I'm scraping out the non-skid right now because it's just unacceptable. Can't prime over that. So just scraping what I can, and then I'm gonna run the belt sander on her. And all the rivets are out. She is coming along. Now, when I say the gel coat's in bad shape, that's what I mean. You can't prime over that, you can't paint over that, that all just needs to come off back to resin. Now, I'm hoping, in my old whaler I had the same problem too up here, that the gel coat up here is like ½ an inch thick. They kind of went crazy, maybe not ½ an inch, ¼ inch. So it just is so brittle it just cracks. But again, as always, my goal is to sand as little as possible. And just keep having at it until I feel like I'm at a point where I need to start sanding.
All right, it's about time for an official update on this guy. Harry's been hard at work, chipping, sanding, grinding, belt sander. We even bought a fancy Merca handheld vacuum sander and all that. But Harry, please give us your...
So this boat is like the worst 13 whaler I've ever seen in my life. None of this is worth doing to it, and you don't have to tell us that. Like, I'm completely aware. There are just puncture wounds all over it. And that's not for me scraping right now, it's just the boat. Holes, holes, holes. The side of it is so thin. This is all just foam through the glass. That's not like me sanding too far, that's literally just how thin the boat is. It's missing the entire china on this side, which they had glassed just round.
Just a patch, yeah, round patch.
Yeah, so yeah, the profile is supposed to be square, like it is on both sides there.
I mean, 60 years, and this thing's been through hell. It's got, have you counted?
Holes?
Like 30 holes?
Oh,
more than 30 holes?
You count little things like this.
Here's some more stuff on this side.
This one's really bad here, over there.
So this is why I saw a comment literally this morning that we shouldn't be removing gel coat like this, but there's physically no way to add the structure back to this boat without removing all of this old crazed chip gel coat.
This just falls off. Like, people were saying, why aren't you sanding it? It's because everything from here to the transom was just sheeting off like this. You can't paint to that. You can't fiberglass.
You can't.
To that. You need a solid base to go.
You can't
off.
scuff that and reuse this. I mean, this is 60-year-old gel coat that, again, as we've been discovering, has been patched, repaired, painted with house paint, not even boat paint.
Yeah.
Just regular car Bondo. Dare I say wood putty on the back here, where the extension was made. I mean, being optimistic like I am, this actually looks great. Harry's done an incredible job. I mean, this was all a complete white boat, and now he has sanded it back to the glass layer that we needed to be able to add. You know, this is what'll be added back, right, Harry? Some biaxial fiberglass.
We might go like a couple weights heavier.
Okay.
But
thicker, or it's just thicker?
Yeah, thicker.
Okay.
And I'm probably gonna do for the chine here. I'm gonna do the thickened epoxy to get the shape back, and then probably do some heavy tape over top.
Yeah.
Fiberglass tape, just to get some structure back to it. But yeah, no, every repair on here, like they just went.
And there's no telling, I mean, how many years ago some of these repairs were made.
Yeah, so you can see this is what was sitting over the side here. And you can see that's just the gel coat right there, all that leprosy looking stuff. So there's just no structure there. Like if you try to fiberglass over top, it'll just peel off because there's just nothing.
You're putting solid glass over
nothing.
Over like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I was showing you earlier, here's that sharp chine, and then it just tapers off where, I mean, again, this stuff has probably happened due to just normal boating incidents.
Well,
you
yeah,
know?
I mean, someone's kids were driving it, and they would go run it up on a beach somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, fine, it's what it's meant to do. It's just
Dock, I mean, some of these punctures are probably from pulling it ashore, leaving it on rocks.
Yep.
No
idea what these were. These are bad too. Like, those are deep.
Yeah. I mean, these things, like this boat sat outside for years, turned upside down. You know, and with anything that you just store for a long period of time, occasionally it gets moved, and depending on who moves it, I don't know the kind of care they take and making sure they don't damage something. You know, these boats are not that heavy, but if one person's trying to move this themselves, you know, you're not gonna, it's a 300-pound boat, 200-something pound boat?
Hopefully it should be like 220.
Yeah, I mean, it's cumbersome, so it's not like you're gonna be gently setting this down by yourself.
This one's probably rocking 300 pounds, 50 pounds heavy.
Yeah, but I mean, this is, again, another one of those projects that has sentimental value to the owner, just like this Correct Craft does. He could go out and buy a decent, not a 65, but a decent newer whaler for what, $3,500, whatever it might be.
Buy a nice 65 for $3,500.
Yeah, but again, this is his boat. He wants to keep his boat. It has sentimental value, and that's where the extra labor and scary things that Harry is uncovering kind of play a fact here, so, or play a part here. So again, not something you'd typically do, but if it means something to you, then I guess it's worth saving. So, and
all right, cutting up landfill. Let's go. People love that.
we've already reached our quota for 2025.
If it was my boat,
we'll have to wait till
this would
2026.
be going to a landfill. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But it's gonna look great.
Yep.
Bikini blue inside, off-white outside.
It will look awesome. It'll be strong. We'll make sure of it.
I mean, structurally, it's fine. It's just in terms of soaking up things and being horrible.
Well, it won't soak things once you're done.
Yeah.
And again, we're not going to be recreating this chine here, unfortunately.
No, we will.
You are?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. No, just make a dam here and
and fill it.
Take an epoxy, fill it, and profile it.
See, that's what should have been done in the first place.
2-inch fiberglass tape over top here.
Okay.
Feather the edges and then
see
the whole top.
Look at this guy.
So
I don't know what happened here. I just noticed this, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna.
That I'm gonna do less.
Yeah.
Filing up.
A rub rail goes over that.
Yeah.
As long as it's sealed up.
Yeah. So yeah, once it gets above 20 degrees, then I can start actually doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
see this in the background for a hot minute as it's waiting for those.
Yeah, this is, again, labor of love. I mean, I don't know how many hours have gone into this so far just to get all the gel coat off, but...
I've gone through 2 audiobooks.
Yeah, more...
Each of them were about 15 hours long.
Well, there you go. More hours than I would have liked to see spent on something like this. The snow is melting.
That's good.
Look how red this roof is from all the freaking soot and whatnot. Anyway, this is just being real with you. More hours than I would have liked to spend on a project like this. I mean, we quote and estimate everything out the best that we can, but in old stuff like this, you never know what's going to come up. So the reality of this situation is it's a lot more hours than we expected. We had a conversation with the owner about it. And even more so, that's probably even more hours than the additional conversation that we had about what this is going to take. So either way, it's always good to be transparent and upfront about these situations, especially when you start to uncover just wild, crazy damage.
I don't want to half-ass it. Like,
no.
At the end of the day, this is a depiction of my skills and abilities that you're all looking at.
And this guy is slowly, actually, really quickly becoming a wonderful and very knowledgeable fiberglass expert, even though he doesn't want to be.
I don't. I've done a new deck on a Blackfin 29, switching it over from inboards to outboards. I've installed some Seakeepers. I do fiberglass, but this is not like what I envision myself doing on boats.
So
it's apparently what I do.
After the Whaler, this boat, not a whole lot of fiberglass work left. You guys saw the awesome floor Harry put in the correct craft.
After this, I become a woodworker.
Yeah. I owe Harry some different projects for 2026 as we finish out these, hopefully through the spring. And I've got a few things up my sleeve, so anyway.
Donzi Sweet 16.
Donzi, maybe a few newer salvage boats that we repower or fix. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at with this guy. Show you the engine that's going to go on this as well. And I'm going to flash up the interior of what we're going to do on the inside. I know it's flipped over. Harry did a bunch of sanding in the blue. It'll be blue again, but those specialty marine kits, the wood kits that go inside this boat, I'll flash up what this owner is going to pick for the layout in the interior, so you guys can see.
He's like, oh my God, this box! I think that means this side is heavy.
Oh, well, I know that's what it means, but... Yeah. Look at this, Tahatsu.
Look how excited he is to be holding that box. He's like, oh God, yes, this box.
Tahatsu. Feel the wind. Taste the wind. No, that's not their... I guess that's their motto. These are... Mercury just buys these, by the way, and then puts new cowlings on them.
Every motor under 30 horsepower. Also, fun fact, I own the oldest Tahatsu in North America, if y'all want to see that.
Really?
By 40 years, 1962.
Are these made in Japan?
Yep. This is probably a Chinese build. No, this was a Japanese build.
Japanese, they build good stuff. Let's unbox it. This will be fun.
It's Christmas time. People love unboxing videos.
You guys gonna...
Here, put on the Volvo.
Stay right there. Hang on, this is a good angle. All right. Let's see what we got. I've seen a 30 horsepower before, but some of you might not have.
I've never actually seen an outboard before.
Really?
Yeah.
You just have over 100 of them?
I just hear that they're a thing.
Yeah, we don't work on outboards here.
We should, though.
We will.
Do you say 1950s runabout restorations?
Maybe.
Low stress, high yield, lots of turnaround.
Sounds like...
Super cheap.
Oh, it's white.
Wow.
That actually looks pretty good.
It's huge.
Why is it so big?
It's enormous.
Is this their 3-cylinder?
I would think so. It should be the same as the Pro Kick 30s.
Wow. I thought the 9.9 is the same as the 25.
No.
No?
No.
No, it's a bigger motor?
Yeah, the 9.9 and the 15 are the same.
Oh, but the 25 and the 30 are the same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Those are all Tahatsus.
All Tahatsus.
Even the Mercury's
Up
are
to 30
ones.
horsepower.
Oh, sweet. So we got a fuel tank, we got pre-rigging, we got throttles, we got
That's awesome.
propeller. It's actually really nice.
There's oil down there.
Yeah, oil. This is really nice quality from Tahatsu.
Yeah,
Very impressed. I bet this thing will even have electric start.
Oh, I bet you do.
Oh, this will be a quality little
I
unit.
think it has power tilt too.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Yes, it does.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, I saw it.
Did you say cold rev video?
Oh, the Tatsu?
Yeah. 20 degrees
No,
out.
we'll leave it in the box for right now.
I want to see it bounce off the limiter for 20 minutes.
But is the 50 horsepower the same size as this?
No, bigger.
This is like the size of a Bigfoot.
Yeah, I know, it's a huge motor.
You know what I mean?
So, this is a whole thing I have. In 1955, if you bought a brand new 30 horsepower, or 25, they upped it to 40 later on, OMC, it weighed 118 pounds with electric start. If you buy a brand new electric start 8 horse Honda, it weighs 131 pounds.
Right now.
Yeah. So a 40 horse OMC from the 50s weighs less than an 8 horse Honda now.
What does this weigh? It should say on the side of the box. Does it say on that side?
No, I just can't get over the graphic they did for the side.
The little dude.
Yeah, he looks really excited to be there.
If I had to guess, just based off of selling these before, this is probably 150 pounds.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot, though.
Still more than a 50-year-old OMC.
Huh.
And I'm not saying Mercury because they didn't run back then.
Made in Japan, where the Yamahas are made.
Nippon, as they say.
Yeah, I don't see a weight, but I'm gonna guess. Does it say on the label? 280 pounds.
Jesus.
Oh, that's everything.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess the motor's about 150. And there's some old wood and whatnot, but that's not gonna go back in the boat. Well, some of these brass parts will go back in. Whatnot, we saved those, but okay, back to work.
When I get my 13-foot whaler, I thought it was going to be at 30 horsepower.
Hit a lot of scrap we've been acquiring. Pursuit turbo, pistons, old manifolds and risers.
That's off all the boats that we cut up.
That's right. Big block, camshaft, somebody's shock absorber.
Steering dampener off of a Toyota Hilux.
There you go. And then some old TRS lowers, old Alpha lower, pistons. This thing, I'm not gonna throw it away yet. We'll pull the heads and rebuild it if we ever see a need for it. But
My mower deck.
yeah, mower deck. Clearing out. Skipjack, John Deere, Baja, Formula. Aaron's Manaway that Harry needs to go to the tire shop.
I'll get that now.
Good. Well, due to the weather, that is where we're going to cap this one off. So this Boston Whaler 13, or as I should say, 1965 Generation 1 Boston Whaler 13 full restoration. That's gonna call it a day for part 1. So as you see it, it is at its worst, and as I forget whatever.
You gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
Well, that, but what was the DJ? You know, the only way is up from here. Don't look down. No, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, the only path forward for this Boston Whaler is a dumpster. No, I mean up. Getting better, right, Harry?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I am gonna finish this up right now, and then, yeah, when it's warm out, you're gonna get to see lots of me splicing, cutting, and patching, and
We are we are really getting beat up by the cold right now.
yeah.
Everything we need to do requires warmer temperatures, GoPro batteries that don't die in 5 minutes because it's 20 degrees outside. Just all of the above. Paintwork, fiberglass, and fabrication just doesn't do well in the
But
cold.
we're gonna make it happen for you.
Yeah, so pivot into some different content here moving forward as we wait for warmer temperatures. But tune in next time for part 2 of this Whaler full restoration, where we're starting to re-glass everything and bringing it back to, you know, hopefully better than it's been for the last 60 years. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video.